All right, welcome to the AVNI Interviews. We're your hosts, Eric Bork and Mikey Taylor.
What up?
We're the co-founders of AVNI, a brand for entrepreneurs and influencers, and we're here today with Neen Williams. And Neen, his background, pro skateboarder, and he also is super into nutrition. Is that the right way to say it? Health and nutrition?
Yeah, health and wellness, all that good stuff.
And he's starting to do deals with, he just posted a deal with Whole Foods. And so today we're going to talk about Neen's story and let's start, Neen, with, well, first, thanks for being on. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me. Super hyped.
Yeah. And let's start with your background as a professional skateboarder. So where did you grow up and how did that happen for you?
It's kind of a long story, but basically I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. Family, 3 sisters, mom, stepdad, you know, that sort of thing. I didn't get into skateboarding till I was about 13, which is like really late nowadays.
Yeah, that is late.
You know?
Except for Mikey, I feel like you were 13.
Yeah, I was 13, but I was late too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so 13, I saw a bunch of kids skating in my like 7th or 8th grade. I don't know what grade I was in, but they were skating and I kind of wanted to skate with them and try it out. And they were like the cool kids, it was like an outcast cool crowd, you know, and I was already an outcast because I was always a bookworm pretty much, you know. I was like the nerd.
What types of books did you read?
Well, I'd never read any books. I was just...
Oh, you were just like...
I was just a
by
nerd.
yourself. Okay, got you. Yeah.
I was an outcast, you know.
Yeah.
So these guys are like a group of outcasts and I basically just wanted to be a part of them. So they would let me skate on their boards and I took a liking into it, and eventually I bothered my aunt for like a couple months, you know, like I need a skateboard. They're kind of expensive, you know, especially like back then, like 13, this was probably like early 90s or something, somewhere around there. So she got me a board finally. I think it was for my birthday or something. So I got a board, and ever since then I was, you know, that was my thing.
So here's something I've always wondered about you. For anyone who skateboards, you know Neen because he hucks himself off the biggest like stair sets and just everything. So when did that start for you? Were you like hucking yourself off of buildings earlier? When did that start? Because not everybody can do that. I can't do it. I hit the ground and I fall to my shoulder. That's just what happens with me.
Yeah.
Or what happened when I was skateboarding.
It still happens to me too, you know, but the thing is like, as I grew up skating, me and my friends and my cousin, that's kind of who I would skate with.
Yeah.
We got like a couple videos like Misled Youth and Baker 2G and stuff like that. So that's all we watched. So all we knew was jumping. Yeah, you know, so that's kind of like all we wanted to skate.
For sure.
We just wanted to jump off of stuff. And the biggest stuff, it was like, oh, you did an 8 stair, I'm going to do a 9. Like, I'm going to do a 10, I'm going to do 11. And that's just how we did it. So it's kind of it's the type of skating I got used to. Whatever, jumping from, I just like the feeling of like flying down a set of stairs, like flipping your board, catching it, and then like the seconds or however long it takes till you hit the ground, you know?
Yeah.
And then rolling away. That's always been my favorite. Like I could skate some tranny and then I kind of get bored with tranny, like transition skating really fast because it's just, I don't know, it doesn't have that thrill for me as like stairs do or big gaps, like pushing super fast and just clack, jumping, you know, like that's what I like.
Yeah,
know?
watch some Neen footage of him flying. You literally fly in the air for long periods of time. So keep going with your story. So when did California come into play? Was that?
So I got older, skated forever in Chicago, and in Chicago, half the year is freezing cold and the other half of the year is super hot. So it's almost like the worst of two worlds. Chicago's a beautiful place, you know, don't get me wrong, but it's either really hot or really cold and like you just got to skate through it, you know, you build like a defense against that and you skate through it. So in the winters, I was probably about maybe about like 19 or 20. It was the first time I took a trip out here to California. Basically, one of my friends I grew up with skating, he would film us and stuff. His name was James. he would film us and everything, and he got an apartment in Long Beach, and he hit us up and was like, hey, anytime you guys want to come out, like, I have my spot, you could stay on the couch and we could film and we could skate and whatever, you know. You could skate California, because that, you know, as a kid, like, being from outside of California, like, California is where you wanted to be, you know. So now that I had this this opportunity to come out to California, I would just hit him up, and in the winter I would hit him up and he'd be like, yeah, you could stay for this month or whatever, and I would fly out here and stay with him, and we would skate and film, and then I would go back to Chicago in the springtime, you know. So I was doing like a half and half. Like, half the year I'd be in Chicago for summer, spring, and fall, and then the other half, like winter or the other quarter, I'd be out here in California. So I did that for a couple years, and then when I turned 22, I believe, the end of 22 is when I figured, like, I spend the same amount of money as I do in Chicago as I do in California. Yeah. So I might as well just make the flight to California and just stay here, you know, just pack a bag and come over here and just skate with my friends full time, you know. And
you were 22. Were you at that point, were you sponsored, or was being a pro an option at that point?
Being a pro was never really an option. It was just, you know, I was just a skater. I basically I was flow by a couple companies, you know, and they were super into me and stuff, and I just felt like making the move, you know. It was just, I wanted to come out here and skate new spots and skate with my friends. Like, a couple of my other friends moved from Chicago to Long Beach too, so it was perfect. It was like, oh, I'm gonna come with you guys too, you know.
So let me ask you this: was that the time? Your story, I watched your thing on Vice. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about how you were basically you were a part of one of the most like epic like party times in skateboarding.
Yeah, and I mean,
watching your story, it sounds like you partied pretty hard.
Yeah, the party, I mean, all my life I was partying, you know. I probably started drinking alcohol at like 13, you know.
That young? Okay, so you were partying even when you were young.
Yeah, I was partying forever, you know. The hard partying didn't really hit until later on in life, like when I was already in California, Hollywood and stuff. That's kind of where things kind of got a little dark. And
tell us about that a little bit.
Basically, I turned AM for Death Wish, and you know, that was like a dream come true. Finally, a company was like down to back me and stuff.
And one of the best companies.
I love Death Wish, you know, so it was sick. So we, you know, met up with the team, and years of just skating and filming parts and this and that, filming tricks. And basically what we would do is like, we would skate all day, then we'd come home and like, we'd all just have like 40s and smoke blunts and whatever. It was super casual, you know. Eventually, like, I got to know like other people, and kind of just got into like more of the bar scene, you know, and just started drinking way more than I needed to, you know, and doing other stuff too, just partying my ass off night to day, days upon days, just like really bad, you know. Yeah. And I kind of like was falling in this dark hole the whole time. Like, I was collecting footage on the weekends, you know, but it was like, I had like a grace period. There was like a couple years, like probably like 5 years of a grace period where you could party super hard, and you could wake up and you feel fine, you know, like no problem. Oh, like that didn't happen, you know. But then after doing that for so much, it finally like started taking a toll, and it was like it went from 2 days hungover to 3 days hungover to 4 days hungover to like being hungover all week till the weekend, finally trying to skate and getting no tricks, or like getting one trick and then just jumping right back into the party, boom, back into the dark hole, just like not skating, just drinking, partying, like girls drinking, this, that, just chaos, you know. Because being a skater, it was like we never really had this. We never really had like a bunch of girls in our like to hang out with and party with. We didn't, because we were just with our boys all day. It was sleepovers, and you get tricks, like film, you know?
And if you're getting tricks, it makes it feel like everything you're doing is okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, that's how it was. It was like we were still getting tricks, but we were partying super hard. And then there was a point where, like, the party started overtaking the tricks. And then it was just only partying. And I remember, like, thinking, because partying that hard, like, for days on end, you start getting a guilt trip. You're like, man, like, I'm really fucking up. But you can't do anything about it because...
Oh, you actually, like, noticed it.
Yeah,
while you were in
noticed I was fucking up because, I mean, all throughout my life, I've kind of had this really strong, it's like an inner, like some kind of inner, like, strength. You know what I mean? It comes out and it talks to me, whatever. Like, it's just like an inner
like
voice
awareness or something.
Like, hey, like an awareness, you know, like, just like clean your shit up, bro. You know, like get it straight, you know? So I had all this, like, I started thinking, like, man, I'm fucking up. Like, these guys, like, my bosses are bummed on me. Like, I'm not skating. All I'm doing is partying. Like, I saw a couple of my friends fall, too, from partying way too hard, you know. But I always kind of kept it all right a little bit because I'd skate and get my tricks, you know. But then I'd still fall back down. And it was getting really bad to the point where, like, it could have ruined everything for me, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But
for sure.
Like I said, I had that voice, that, like, intuition, that voice inside of me that just, like, was like, you know, you got to slow down, you know? And randomly, it was my birthday one day, and, like, we walked down to the bar, and, like, it's like, everyone's coming to my birthday, like, we're gonna have a celebration, you know, and, like, all the bosses are in the bar and stuff, and it was kind of weird to see them there because they don't drink, they haven't drank in so long. So I was just like, oh fuck, like, what's going on here? You know, I'm toasted, you know, I don't even know what's going on. They bring out a present for me, I open it up, and it's like a board with my name on it, you know, like my very own pro motto, you know, and I was just like, oh damn, because, like...
Wait, so when you're going through this whole thing, you're am at this point. You're not even pro?
I'm am at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
So
Crazy.
I'm am at this point, but the thing is I already filmed my chicken bone part and for Shake Junt, and I've pretty much finished my Death Wish part too, you know, and I've just been, like, collecting little pieces here and there, you know? So it was like, I was like sitting on 2 parts, you know, and I was just fried out of my mind, just partying with everybody, just, you know, at that time that was a lot of parts to be sitting on, and it was just like, oh, like, whatever, we're just partying, having a good time. But yeah, so I have this part ready to come out in a couple months or whatever. So it's my birthday, they give me this present, they open it up, and it's like, boom, my very own pro motto. And I'm just like, oh wow, like, I'm pro, like, this is crazy. But I thought they were, like, joking because I had that guilt, you know what I mean? Joking. So I was like, what is this, you know? Is this just, like, something for my wall or whatever, you know? So they gave me this board, and I was super hyped. And that, you know, like, the rest of the night was cool, it was fun, it was my birthday, we partied, whatever. And that kind of sparked a little something in me, which kind of helped me, like, slowly wean off the alcohol and the partying, you know, because it was like,
so it wasn't all at once thing for you. It was you weaned off it gradually. It
was a gradual wean off, you know. It was like, I got the board, and then little by little, I slowed down. I would take a month off drinking and partying, and I would only skate and get clips, you know. Yeah. And then I'd party for a month. But they were still dark. It was like a dark party for a month, and then I'd take another 2 weeks off, and then I'd party for a week, you know? And it was just going little by little. That probably went on for about maybe 2 years or something after turning pro. And then maybe 3 years, actually. It was like a slow process of partying and slowing down. But then I tore my ACL. And
oh no.
That's like one of the injuries that sometimes, like, with professional athletes, it could either make or break you, you know what I mean? A lot of people go down for, like, blowing out their knees just because you're out for, like, a year, you know, you're out for so long. So when I tore my ACL, at this point, I've learned so much about the body, and, you know, I was doing on and off with alcohol and partying. So I was, like, actually, like, building my knowledge with, like, certain things and how to take care of yourself when you're hurt. And you know, that like you heal a lot faster if your body's not trying to heal from the alcohol poison that you put inside of it. You know, like if you're not drinking alcohol while you're hurt, then your body only has one job to do, and that's heal what you're injured, you know, like
nice.
What you've injured. So basically knowing that, I was like, all right, at this point, I'm like 27, 28, you know? So I'm like, I'm kind of getting a little bit older. My ACL just got busted. I'm about to get it reconstructed. At this point, I have to make a choice, you know? It's like, I'm going to put the beer down, put the partying down in order to skate longer and to skate better, you know? And I want to heal faster, so I come in stronger, you know? So I plan to only do it for like 8-9 months, as long as the surgery took to heal from, you know, and then I'd be strong and I could skate again and then I could party again, you know, like no big deal, you know? But the thing is when I got to that point, like I completely stopped everything, drinking, smoking, everything, just done, no partying. When I got to 8 months and I was able to skate again, I was so used to, like, I was on like a new journey. Like I turned into a new man because I was sober for so long, or I don't like to call it sober. I like to call it just, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Yeah. You know, I just, some words in like our world just
buzzwords. For sure.
You know, like they just, you know, so I just don't drink, I don't smoke, you know. I can still hang, it's chill, you know.
And how was that where the wellness, like you're really passionate about wellness and is that where it was born?
That's kind of when it was born. I mean, when I was in the transition of like partying and not partying, that's when the health and wellness started kind of gathering. And then when I took the full break from drinking and partying while I was hurt and I was healing from my injury, that's when everything started building, you know, and I built this new machine. Yeah. You know, it was like, I want to do everything I can to skate to my full potential, to get everything that I can get out of life right now while I can. Yeah. And, you know, nothing's going to get in my way. I'm going to get to where I want to get to, and I'm going to do it. You know, like nothing is going to get in my way. And
I love it.
That was my focus. It's like, how can I skate better, faster, longer? How can I improve my life? How can I, you know what I mean? So that's every single day. It's like, that's what my gears are working towards. You know, it's like, how can I improve today?
So that's awesome. So part of the reason that we wanted to have you on is because there's so many people that are, let's say, working a full-time job, mm-hmm. and they want to do something on the side, or a lot of times with athletes, their only skill is, for example, playing ball or riding a skateboard. Yeah. And so what's so interesting about your story is you found something, and I mean, it's a great market. It's like the wellness market. There's so many people out there, mm-hmm. that want to know about it and want to learn about it. And so it's fascinating that you've taken pro skateboarding, and I actually didn't know a lot of what you just said. Mm-hmm. And then you've started to transition into wellness. So I'm going to fast forward and rewind a little bit. You're doing deals with a lot of health, Whole Foods, and I've seen a few different posts. So how did it start to transition from there? I see where the passion was born for wellness. Mm-hmm. How did it start to transition into something that you started talking to these companies, because you have relationships and work with these companies now? How did that happen?
Basically all through social media, you know. Social media is a really great platform for all of us, you know, health and wellness, athletes, everybody. It's social media is a big thing nowadays, you know. So basically, once I got into this health and wellness journey and, you know, doing good things and spreading, because see, that's the thing, is like in skateboarding forever, so many things were considered whack. You know, like, mm-hmm. he's whack, he does this. You're whack if you do that, you know? And once I quit drinking and once I quit partying, I quit caring about that. You know, I quit caring about what people thought was whack. Like, it was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And if that's going to help my life, you know, because no one's going to help my life but myself. You know, I'm the only one in charge of how good I do at life. You're not. You know what I mean? Yep. So you could keep your whackness to yourself, because I don't care about that. Yep. You know, I have to do what I have to do. You know what I mean? It's like, this is my life. No one's going to catch me if I fall. For sure. You're not going to catch me if I fall, you know? So I have to make sure I'm fine. So basically, once I got over all of that and I just started doing me, and so I just started using my Instagram to like post myself cooking, you know, like, oh, like, here we go, I'm cooking, you know, steak and leafy greens for dinner, you know, and I would just do that. And I still do. I do it just to like, it was like dinner ideas, you know what I mean? Instead of going and eating some fast food processed stuff or whatever, you know, some garbage, you could spend pretty much the same amount of money and you could make something gourmet, grass-fed, organic at your house, you know, as long as you're smart and you know what to buy, you know what I mean? Because some people go crazy when they go into a grocery. It's like, it's so easy if you know what to buy. It's like, bing, bing, bing. All right, I can make food for the week. I only spent $50, which means I would have only spent $50 basically eating fast food once a day for the whole week or whatever.
So I have a question for you. This is a random one. How much do you spend a month on food?
I mean, that's a hard one. I don't really gauge it. Does it vary a lot? It varies, definitely. You know, I try to stay within like a certain amount, like, because it's me and my girlfriend, you know? Got you. And like, sometimes I'll buy a lot of the dinners, sometimes she'll buy the dinners, you know? We kind of switch off. I would say a couple hundred, you know what I mean? Like, not crazy.
Like a couple hundred a week?
A month.
A month?
Yeah.
Really?
For real? Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Good for you,
my
man.
budget, man. That's awesome.
Well, it's because I cook most of my meals. I cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically, you know. And if I'm gonna skate all day, I'll cook the night before, and I'll like pack my prepped meal, you know, and just eat it cold.
Love it.
So, what was the first brand deal you did outside of skateboarding? For me, a big like goal was always like, I want to make money outside of skateboarding, right? Like for the first, like, however, when I was younger, I'd have New Year's resolutions, right? I don't do that anymore, but it was always make money outside of skateboarding, right? I remember the first time I did it was like, I did it. It was like a huge accomplishment for me, sick. Right? Did it just like kind of, oh yeah, make money, cool? Or was that a goal of yours? Or
I think it just kind of worked with the whole lifestyle, you know? It was just like, oh, wow, like I'm working with this company now. Oh, wow, I got a check. Like, you know what I mean? It just kind of like flowed together.
So it wasn't like a master plan. Like, okay, I'm into fitness. How could I make this work? Can I make money doing this? Can I transition out? None of that.
No, just kind of, I've just been, organically just kind of flowing, you know, and things just come my way. And if I like it, and if I like the product and I've been using the product or whatever, then it's like, I'm down for it, you know?
And do you have do companies just hit you up randomly, like on DM?
Yeah.
You don't make any effort to go find deals, all of them come to you?
Not really, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome.
There's websites nowadays, though, that you can do it. I'm on one of them, you know, and I do some jobs there sometimes, you know, for like little random supplements and stuff, you know, that I actually take.
What's the site?
Open Sponsorship is one of them.
Okay.
Have you ever used that one?
No, I'm yet to do a brand deal.
Yeah, that one they do it. They you basically apply for it, and it's kind of like applying for a job. So you put in like to the search engine like what you're into, and then they pop up with all these different companies of what you're into, you know. So then they have all their little applications up there, or like all their campaigns, and you just send them an application when you find one that you like, you know, and it has like the money figure and how much product they'll give you.
And is that all based on your following?
Some of them are, and some of them aren't, you know.
Really?
It's a whole mix, you know. It's pretty cool. I mean, you could get some really like random, like small and big deals if you just.
What's a small deal look like? Like a one post?
Couple hundred for one post. Yeah.
And then what's a big deal look like?
Well, probably a couple K for one post.
But what you're doing now isn't like a solid just one post. You have like a kind of a sponsorship deal?
Well, they're like ambassador deals that run for a couple months, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like a one-time deal, but it's more of like, it's over a span of a couple months, you know what I mean? And then, you know, you never know. If you do a good job, maybe they'll ask for you back, you know?
Yeah. So basically it sounds like you followed what you were really, really into, and then you did it and something became of it. It wasn't like, I'm going to do this because it's a business move. It was like, this is what I'm really all about.
Yeah.
And you started doing it, and then deals started happening because of that.
Yeah, it just kind of happened organically. Like I said, when I made the choice to kind of just be me and stop worrying about what was whack and what was cool and this and that, and I started posting my food and my health regimen and how I work out every morning and all this, to skate better, to skate faster, to just, you know, be my best that I can be. That's kind of when things started developing. Like I would just get messages in my DM, like they just slide in there, and I would read them, and if it was something that I was into, I would do it, you know? Because it was like, the thing is like, everyone thinks all of us pro skaters are millionaires. It's like, we're not.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that a little bit. And obviously I don't want you to like say this is how much money I make, but what is skateboarding? What does your income look like from skateboarding as far as like life?
Well, I mean, income from skateboarding is like, I don't need a job, but at the same time, I can only live within my own means. You know what I mean? It's like, I could live from check to check, pay for my apartment, pay for food, pay for my car, my bills, all that. Once that's all paid and done, you're waiting for your next check. You know what I mean? And
from skateboarding.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, so if I want to live that way for however long skateboarding actually lasts, you know what I mean? Because skateboarding, who knows what can happen to it. You know, if I want to live like that and kind of be on the edge the whole time, like I could do that. Or there was a time where I had to figure it out. It's like, or I have all these other people hitting me up saying like, hey, you want to post this? Like, we'll hook you up with this. And I'll be like, wow, that's like perfect, you know? And so I would just take these other deals, you know?
And it's something you're into and you love.
It was something I was into and I loved. It's like, if a rollerblader company came to me, like, I don't rollerblade, so I'm not going to post a rollerblading company. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I gauge it, you know? And then also I just feel like I was so far down in the dark and in the gutter, and I climbed my way up, and like 3.5 years later, I'm like doing deals with health, food, and all this like healthy, like, it's just, I think it's very motivational, you know?
For sure.
It's like anyone could do it, you know?
Love it. What are some of the brands? We talked about Whole Foods. Can you name any other ones? What are some that you've done deals with? I
did an event with Vega recently.
Okay. I used to use them for pre-workout.
Yeah, Vega, super good, clean, plant-based, protein. Mm-hmm. They do, pre-workout, all that, electrolytes, everything, you know? It's like a healthy sports drink, you know?
For sure.
I did an event with them, did some stuff with Rawer Superfoods, like John Mata and all of them, you know, they do a really good superfoods, like all the green nutrition that you need, you know, in one scoop, you know, that stuff's so good. I love that. I've done some supplement posts for Vitamin Shop, you know, just like some ZMA. It's this magnesium zinc kind of concoction that you take before bed that helps you, like, it's supposed to help you heal, but it really knocks you out hard, like you're knocked out cold.
Wait, what was that one?
ZMA.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
It's crazy.
No, I haven't. I'll have to check it out.
What about the brain? What was the brain drug?
See, I'm not into those.
What are they called? Are you in the brain drug?
Neuros.
Neuros, I've never tried those.
Yeah, Neuros, I'm not into them, but that's because I feel like they alter me. And that's a problem for me. Like, that's not something I'm like good at handling. So I just have to stay away from them. But like neuro enhancers, I don't know why I can't think of the exact word. I say it all the time.
Neurotropics?
Yeah, neurotropics.
Neurotropics.
I'm not into those ones personally. Sorry, keep going.
Oh,
Sorry, that was a tangent. I just want to know if you're into the
We
super
got
brand.
into it one time, and I'm like on the side of like, don't touch them.
Do you know what they are?
No.
So they're basically like, what's the movie? Limitless. You know, where he takes the pill, he's a genius.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the real life that, except I don't know if you're like that tight, but like
We're gonna have
whatever.
to find
You're
some
like,
of those.
you get super focused, you're motivated,
Yeah.
energy.
I was gonna say I do some work for Onnit, Onnit brand. So I do some work for them, and they have like this one supplement called Alpha Brain, and
That's
Probably it.
yeah, that stuff
one of
like
them.
really like
Dials
focus
you in,
memory,
right?
just boom.
You're like, what do I got to do today? Boom, I can do it, right?
It's crazy, isn't it?
But Bork doesn't mess with it. I haven't tried it yet, but like,
no, I mess with it.
It's all natural
it's just
ingredients.
it's an addiction for me.
Yeah, because then you're gonna want it.
For me, it's a problem, which is why I can't go there.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it.
I feel like I'm the same way.
Yeah, because for
Yeah, 'cause
me,
why wouldn't
if
you
I'm-
want to like perform at 1,000,000% every single day?
Oh,
all
yeah.
day? Of course you do.
For
so
sure.
like now you're addicted to like feeling awesome. God, that's gonna be
Well,
because you
terrible.
want to
Focus,
the reason though
memory
is because
high.
you want to feel awesome all the time,
Yeah,
and your
totally.
body needs to like calm down. So I would
You can
take,
cycle it,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but Bork's
a week
I don't
on, a week
cycle it.
off.
I just go.
You just
Like,
straight.
I stay up for like 20 hours. Like anyways, I'm not promoting that. Like it's a problem for me. I quit.
Who promotes it? There's a couple guys on podcasts that love
Well,
it, right?
it depends.
Joe Rogan love it?
Well, he owns on it, right?
Yeah, on it.
Yeah.
I think he's one of them, one of the owners.
So I mean,
So he loves it.
And here's the thing: I don't know the ingredients of on it. I'm talking about like the brain, like basically it's natural Adderall, a lot of them, and that stuff really messes you up.
Well, yeah, but it's not Adderall though.
Yeah, it's not like
it's a stimulant though.
it's not like chemically created. It's made from like actual natural
Like there's
herbs
no
and
withdrawal
stuff,
from.
There's withdrawals from all. This is like this is like a
We're
debate
going-
we need to have.
Yeah, there's no withdrawal from it, dog. There's withdrawal.
Oh my
from,
gosh!
What,
How do you not withdraw from a stimulant?
what do you mean? How do you not withdraw from?
If you
something?
take a stimulant, you go up, you're gonna come down. Neen, you're gonna like be the judge here of this.
Wait, hang on. Now, Adderall. What happened when you stopped taking Adderall? You just came down? No.
You mean like
went
for
through
the
a
day?
Full withdrawal.
For the day
personally-
or like ever? What are you gonna say, Neen?
Well, personally, I take the Alpha Brain, and I don't feel bad when I don't take it.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Like, I just
But
feel
if
feel
I
normal,
develop an
you know?
addiction, it's your.
Well, it's not so drastic.
I'm just kidding.
You know, like an Adderall is like a chemically made in like the lab. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Like you take
Kinda
Adderall
pill,
every
you know,
single
so-
day for 4 months, right? You don't take it for 3 days, you're gonna feel like shit, right?
Yeah, you have to go through a withdrawal.
Yeah,
You
'cause
have to go
that's,
through the
like,
withdrawal.
super
You
gnarly.
take the super brain, right? Take that every day for 8 months. Don't take it one day. You're totally fine.
Yeah, because it's
You
just
might
all
want
natural.
to feel awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm way more focused, but you're not going to go through this like I can't leave the house. I have no energy. I'm gonna kill
Okay,
myself.
we're gonna have to research this and
I'm going
and
to take
do a
this.
debate
I'll
on
take
it.
the W on
We're
this.
gonna have to research this
You could
and do a debate on
You
it.
could take your L on that one.
So let us know what you guys think in the comments here. Like, go to the YouTube and let us know what you think.
Should
For me, that almost like
Eric start taking more drugs?
No, dude, I won't do it. I know better now. So back to Neen, on it, Whole Foods. I mean, dude, I love what you're doing. It's rad. I'm watching it.
Thank
it's
you.
so cool.
It is
we
really
saw
cool.
it and wanted
Thanks.
to talk about it.
It is really cool because I think like dude, at least me, I've always looked at what skaters do after skating. I've always been like so fascinated by it because I wanted to figure out what to do after.
Yeah, like
right?
what happens after
Yeah, what the
skating.
hell happens after?
Yeah.
It's so frightening for us, right?
Oh, it's crazy.
But like now, like kind of with social media, you're able to like really watch it. Where when
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a kid, like a pro skater just disappeared, and then I always want like, where the hell did Bill Pepper go?
Yeah.
Right. What does he do now? It was like I never knew where they went. Right. Now
Yeah.
you can watch the full transition happen. Right. And you do see a lot of pro skaters try things, and it doesn't really turn out to anything. Right.
Yeah.
But like from like all of us watching you, you've kind of found something that's like not only really fitting for you, but you're like actually actively making it work with deals and right. There's a lot of guys that go work out, but like you have like a whole new income stream coming from it.
yeah, hell yeah.
You know.
And I want to touch on something you said, Neen, because this is something I think is the most important thing for take home from a lot of what I've heard people say is if you choose to do something that is 100% you, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say it will always happen, but that's when it does happen, is when people do something that is true to them and that's 100% them. They figure it out because they love it. They're passionate about it. They're willing to persevere through, you know, hard times to make it happen. And so seeing what you've done, you're all about it. Like, so do you drink at all now?
No, I don't.
And
I'm going on 4 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Not one drop.
And dude, you used to show up when we were like 2015, we were skating every day here. You would show up and you'd always have, you know, your supplements. You'd bring, didn't you used to bring like your yoga mat once in a while?
Yeah.
You would do
stretches.
stretches.
This was right after your surgery. This is like comeback from the surgery.
This is when I was learning how to skate again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, it's just a fit, man. And it's really cool to see what you're doing.
Thank you.
So really quickly, the deals that you're doing, you kind of mentioned this, but are most of them just like, are any of them ongoing, or is it you figure out posts here and posts there? How does it work?
Well, for the 2 new ones, like for Vega, it was an ambassador for a couple months in the summer, and they gave me a budget to throw an event. So I got to be in charge of that with help from my friend Linda at Vice. She was like the middle lady. Like, I would basically bring her people. Like, I was like, I want Pizzanista to cater it. So I hit up Salman, you know, introduced them to. They figured out all the logistics, and that's kind of how I did it. So I kept it all within skating. Like, got Beagle to DJ it and stuff, and just boom, 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 and like that. That's how I made my event, you know?
Yeah.
So that was just a couple months. Same with the Whole Foods. The Whole Foods one is a couple months. I made this, it was like their back to routine kind of event or whatever. So they got a couple influencers to make these cooking videos. And we had to film and edit them and all this stuff. Couple posts on our Instagram, but you know, the turnout's good, you know.
Love it.
I have to do a little, this is pretty sick too. I mean, I would have never expected this, but I have to do a little in-store workshop. So I'm like cooking in front of like 70 people, just kind of like, this is what you do, boom, boom, boom. You know,
that's pretty cool.
Love
like
it.
I've never done that. You know, it's like I'm just a skater, and I happen to love to cook, and I love health and wellness. You know, and now I'm cooking at Whole Foods and teaching people how to cook. You know,
is this what you want to do?
Crazy.
Is this what you want to do after skating?
I mean, it's definitely something cool and something that I'm into. You know, and I wouldn't mind doing it. It's like, it's fun to me, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I take a lot of love and passion into like sharing my knowledge of health and wellness and what works for me, and if I could help someone, you know, then I'm gonna help them, you know. And
so let's talk about that. What if I know that having energy, that's something I struggle with a lot. It's a little bit different as an athlete, but for someone that's looking at, you know, let's say that they don't have a very healthy lifestyle right now, and they want to get started into it. What would you recommend for people trying to get into being healthy?
Well, basically, you would probably just want to start with like your diet. That would be your first aim of attack. The most important thing with your diet, if you're like trying to start to get healthy, what you want to start with is taking a couple things out of what you eat in your daily consumption. Like, basically, you want to stay away from sugar, a lot of grains, like too much grains. Like, you could have a bowl of rice here and there, but don't go overboard. Sugar, grains, and wheat, gluten, like beer, you know, like all that stuff kind of creates inflammation in your body, which is going to make your body feel sore, tired, sluggish. You know, your joints are going to hurt a little bit more. If you take all that stuff out of your diet, you're going to start to trim down like the fat, all that. You're going to lean out, you know, and you're going to have more energy. And, you know, those, like, basically the main rule is eat real food. Like, eat plants that come from the ground, you know, cauliflower, broccoli, like just real food, plants. If you eat meat, like eat well-raised, you know, like ethically raised meat, grass-fed beef, you know, organic, pasture-raised eggs. Like, that it's all like an extra dollar, but that extra dollar is going to go a long way for you, in the end. It's going to make you feel better, and
So I'm going to throw out kind of what works for me, and then if you have any suggestions, throw them out there. Mikey starts laughing. So I have to be kind of like obsessed with something. Yeah. And so I've been looking for...
This has been an ongoing thing for a long time.
And I haven't told you this, Neen, but I actually have food allergies to like 8 things. I'm allergic to gluten. I'm allergic to dairy. Okay. I'm allergic to beans. Eggs, and you're gonna laugh and think I'm crazy, but raw ginger and coconut, I can eat it when it's cooked. Okay. And I'm forgetting like one, but we have this ongoing thing of Mikey and Jen thinking I'm crazy, but
no, that's not it. The only reason we think he's crazy because he's never been tested for any of it, right? Like, do I think he has food allergies? Absolutely. Yeah. Right. But like, we're always like, hey, you should get tested to know exactly what it is. Yeah. Right. That's all.
And that's intentional though. I came across this chiropractor and he was like, hey, I test people all the time.
Well, you should probably get tested.
Well, I should, but this is what this chiropractor said. Multiple L's. He said that, no, I figured it out. Like it took me like 5 years, but I figured it out, right? He said that he'll do tests, he'll do blood tests, and he'll come back and say you're deathly allergic to tomatoes. But people are eating tomatoes and they're fine. He's like the best way to do it is to basically eliminate the things that are making you tired or you're having reactions from, and then cut it down to like a very specific diet and reintroduce things. So
yeah, little by little.
Where I was going with this is that I recently discovered Nutritionfacts.org. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's amazing. The book is called How Not to Die. And he takes the top 15 things and then breaks down what causes them based on diet. So I have to get like obsessed and have something that I'm into. Yeah. That's what works for me. And then as I'm learning about it, I'll start applying it. It just, for a lot of people, it seems so overwhelming to figure out how to do this. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is follow Neen because he's doing this every day.
Hell yeah.
And that, just watching someone that you look up to that's doing this all the time is super helpful. And that helps me is watching people that I kind of have a hard time with a lot of people because they go so into keto and they're like, I eat once every 3 days. I'm like, come on, dude. Like
super fast.
Come on. Like, am I really going to eat once every like 2 or 3 days? Like, anyways, so follow Neen. Is there anything else you could suggest to anybody trying to get started with diet? And if not, it's okay. I'm just throwing that out there for anybody that's listening going like, I feel tired all the time. I'm sluggish. How do I get healthy?
You could always go get your blood checked and see if anything's wrong in there. I never did, no. I kind of just, see what I do is I try a bunch of different diets out, and I try them out for like 30 to 60 days just to kind of see what each thing does to me, like body-wise, body shape, like energy-wise, like how can I skate longer, faster, all that stuff. And that's kind of how I find what works best for me, what diet, like eating what foods at what time is what works best for me. And it's just a lot of science behind it, and you gotta, everybody's body is different and you have to figure it out for yourself. But definitely, like what you said, is like if the viewers or listeners watch my Instagram, I put a lot of that stuff on my story, so you could kind of see what I'm going through while I'm going through it, and you could try it out too.
Do you still show your cooking?
I show my cooking.
That's the thing I struggle with the most is cooking. And the one other thing, I'll be real quick because I want to cut you off, but I've found 6 spots in my area that are all Veggie Grill, Joy Cafe. They're all really healthy spots. There's a health food store that has basically food bar. And I found those spots. And so to avoid eating bad food, I'll go to those spots and eat all the time. So those are kind of my 2 strategies, is find something I'm really into that I really like. And then the fast food thing, I don't eat fast food, but the like what's available food, it's like I'll end up eating like Chipotle every day, which that's not good. It can be kind of, but there's a lot of processed foods, high sodium in Chipotle. So I have to find places that I know I can go to instead of going to the junk food spots. Those are the things that work for me. So anything else that you could throw out there?
Well, I have a YouTube channel too.
Oh, you do? I didn't even know that.
I have a YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/Neen Williams.
Okay, and perfect.
I post all types of stuff on there. I post workout routines. I post food. I post vegetarian food, plant-based food, meat-eating food, all types of recipes. I even post some skating in there every now and again.
Like I'm for sure going to check that out. That sounds rad.
It's mostly based on food.
And there's cooking there too?
That's
mostly
pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Love it. So I remember you seemed to, did you do, I think it was a post, you did like so many sit-ups, or what's your morning routine? Do you have one? Do you do? Well, let me do that again. That was awful.
That was terrible. Sloppy, dude.
Jeez.
Do you have any morning routines? Right?
Do you have a morning routine?
See, I was like Eminem there, man. I did it in one bar.
Let's say we can't even go there right now. We'll date our interview. So do you have a morning routine?
Wait, you're not going to use mine? Bro, I just handled this, dog. Take another L. Hey, do you have a morning routine? It has 3 L's one night for Bork.
I thought you were telling me how to say it.
No, dog, I asked the question. I was like, apparently you couldn't ask it. What's your morning routine? Done.
Ready to go.
What are you trying to come back for, man? It's clap season.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Do you have a morning routine for the 5th time?
Yeah. Well, I do have a morning routine. Basically, I wake up around 6 usually every day. Make my coffee, take my shower, all that good stuff, normal morning stuff. By 7, I head to the gym. I go to LA Fitness, just the normal gym, have a couple friends over there. But I go there, I stretch for like about half an hour, 15 minutes, just like a nice, like a long yoga, like a short yoga session, just really stretch everything out. And basically, I work out usually 2 muscle groups a day, and I take off 2 days a week. So I work out 5 days a week, and I take off 2 days. But so I'll work out in the morning, stretch, workout, get my day ready, start hitting people up on the phone, because it's like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning. I'm like texting people. They're just rolling out of bed, and then they're like, oh yeah, let's meet up. Let's go skate this spot, skate wherever. And then I just, from the gym, change my clothes, and then I go skate. And I skate till like 5 usually, so it's like 9 to 5 or something.
Nice.
4 maybe, and then I just go cook dinner. And basically, once I stopped drinking and partying and stuff, I switched it into more positive stuff for myself. Like basically to perform So I switched it to more positive stuff so I could perform better.
Yeah.
And the gym, stretching, yoga, all that, and then I go skate.
So that was all done so that you can perform optimally.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. All right, dude. You got something, Mikey?
No, I was just gonna wait for you to ask a question, and then I was just gonna ask it.
Okay. You're gonna re-ask my question?
No, go ahead.
Hey, I would. Yeah.
I mean, dude, honestly, what I really wanted to know most was about all the fitness and brand deals. That's what I was so curious
It's
about.
so interesting to see, and it's so rad to see you doing it. And it's come up a few times, like, hey, Neen's like really killing it doing these brand deals. Like, it's come up. So
thank you.
We saw that. We wanted to have you on. Man.
How many followers do you have?
320K.
Doing it.
Slowly climbing.
So question for you on that. I'm glad you brought that up. I would assume your audience engages really well with what you're doing. Like, do people just DM you like, hey, what do I do for this? Like,
yeah, I mean, I definitely get a lot of DMs. I answer them back when I can, but the thing is I'm super busy. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm not skating or cooking or filming myself cook, it's like then finally I have a little chunk of time to answer one DM, and then it's like back to real life where I have to like hang out with my girl and do other stuff, and figure out more deals and do, like I'm super all over the place, but yeah, I definitely get a lot of positive DMs of people asking for advice, and when I could help, I help, or I'll let them know what works for me, and I'll be like, hey, try this out. See if you're into this, and if it works for you, like then you're hyped, and then it works, But yeah, it's been really cool. A lot of my followers and stuff, they've been really into the whole change because they got to watch the journey from the start. They saw me in the hole. They saw me dig myself out, and they see me like trying to clean myself up, which is like a good story for everyone because anyone can do it. Like if you watch me, I was I would party for like 3 days straight and not go to sleep, and like I've dug myself up to where I'm doing health and wellness stuff now, and I'm fully clean going on 4 years, and it's just focus and dedication.
Yeah, I like that approach, because so many times you hear people tell the story of, I was like in a gutter and I almost died, and then I stopped right then, and they like cold turkey it. And I don't think that's always practical. And so I was actually really glad to hear you say that you kind of weaned yourself and just kept going. I think a lot of people try and then they give up when it doesn't work the first time.
No, yeah. Well, that's another thing is like, change will only happen if you believe in the change.
Yeah.
Like if you really, really want it, then you're gonna change. Yep. You're gonna do whatever it takes to get there, and you're gonna do whatever it takes to change. And that's the only way it's gonna happen. Like you can't tell someone to stop drinking. It's like they have to figure it out for themselves. They have to hit the wall, hit rock bottom, whatever. And then from there, their inner voice needs to take over and be like, hey, bro, clean your act up. You know what I mean? Like, we need to do this. Like, let's do this. Like, there's so much more to life than just drinking yourself to a blacked out state every night,
Dude, love it, Neen. So for anyone listening, let's shout out your stuff, Neen. So follow, is it just Neen Williams on Instagram?
Neen Williams on Instagram.
And then YouTube, you said, is youtube.com/Neen Williams. Neen Williams. Okay, perfect. And those are your two main ones, right?
Those are my two main ones. I have like Twitter and Facebook, but I don't really use those much.
Yeah, and they can find you from there. So.
Yeah, it's all the same thing though. I have Neen Williams across the board.
Yeah, so check Neen out. He's doing, many people may have already, but if you haven't, check him out. He's doing rad stuff. I'm for sure going to check out your cooking, man. I'm so bad at cooking, so that's actually really cool to find.
You come over, I'll teach you.
I appreciate that. I need it so bad.
Anytime.
Man. I spend like $3,000 a month on food. It's awful.
Oh, man, yeah.
So, all right.
You need to come over.
Serious.
We'll go on a market shopping list. I'll show you what to buy. And
where do you shop most of the time?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods?
Yeah, all day.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dude. Thank you, Neen.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me.